Welcome back. It is 1619, our last year of the decade before we go to America, start a new era. I'm so excited. Let's talk. Last year, we had William and Elias both lose their titles. Unfortunately, we also lost our baby girl. Brangwine has, come out and said that it was her that orchestrated the whole thing, and she is not sorry about it. And this year, we have a few birthdays, just three. We'll see if Brangwine gets what's coming to her. But first, we have Elias's heir, also named Elias, no 7, 14, or 19. Oh no, not the baby. Okay, Brangwine can't get a 3 or an 18. She survived. And then we have Juan Verduzco has to get at least an 8. He did not. The only person who survived this year was Brangwine, really? All right. Well, I guess that is our birthday situation. So let's hop into the game. Okay. So first, actually, we're not going to start in our household. We are going to start in the Hobart household in which Brangwine currently resides. So we are going to have her wedding. We are going to get her married and all of that. Very exciting. So she is, getting her quote unquote happily ever after. So let's quickly cheat the relationship. So we're going to say that, over time, we had everyone doing their thing. Um, you know, she spent the last year with him, and so because of that, they've gotten closer to each other. He's been lonely all these years, and his son is finally at a point where he doesn't feel like he has to necessarily take care of him, so diligently, because he's now a teenager. He's getting into the world, and he's starting to look for his own life and his own family. And so Peter is realizing how lonely he's been over the past 13 years. And so because of that, Brangwine has kind of been a breath of fresh air for him and been really important and very meaningful in his life. Of course, she's, putting on the charm, and Brangwine can be nice. Like, she can be nice to people that she likes. She'd be nice to her brothers if they would just pick her side, like she would be nice to Aldith. She just can't act normal when it comes to the situation with Isabella because she feels so wronged by it. And so otherwise, she can act normal. She can be normal, and she can have a happy marriage with Peter and not have to worry about any issues arising. Like, she's not going to try and get into shenanigans unless, of course, she feels like Peter has wronged her in some way. But she kind of comes out for the revenge, not necessarily the the she's not doing it like Marie does it for like greed or anything. She just is kind of snapping back when she feels like someone has wronged her. So that's her personality, a little bit different. But they are going to have their wedding. They got married. They are going to be married to each other and get their, feast here. So they are going to enjoy that and just, have a beautiful wedding day. You can see here that if you haven't noticed, that we do not, in fact, have here at this party William and Isabella. And so the reason for that, so they've been invited, obviously, because Aldith definitely wanted them there to witness her happily ever after, her success, while they, get gossiped at and they get, whispered about, and, she gets to watch them be uncomfortable, but they did not show up. And I think it's twofold. So first, they didn't show up because neither of them likes her. Neither of them wants to congratulate her or, approve of her or anything. They're both enemies with her at this point. And so they didn't feel the need to waste their precious time, coming to an event when they don't have the resources to even probably attend an event like this, because you need new clothes, you need a present, you need, all that stuff. And so obviously they couldn't, they have to conserve their assets right now. So there's that. And then also, what we have is basically everyone who would gossip about them. They don't want to be gossiped about. They don't want to have to deal with, going to this event and having people whisper behind their backs and cause problems for them and stuff. Like, they don't want to make a scene because that just looks worse, right? Like, especially like William's like, I can't bring Isabella there because 100% she'd be goaded into making a scene, and then everything would be awkward and it would just be just such a problem. And so because of that, they did not decide to go to the wedding. So Brangwine is now Brangwine Hobard, and so she only had one baby try, but he had some baby tries left. So I decided that instead of rolling a D10, we'll roll a D4 for them, and they got 2 baby tries with their D4. So they will be having 2 children together. So I thought, because she had such a low number, and he's already, I guess he only used one of his baby tries, but I just felt like a D4 was appropriate in the moment. We can't see her, but she is happy to now finally be the official lady of the house. They're not really living in sin anymore. And we're going to get her pregnant because, of course, they don't want to try for a baby when I ask them to because they hate me. And so there's that. And so we have Brangwine now going over to William and Isabella's house in order to kind of confront them about the fact that they did not go to her wedding. So that is why she's showing up here, to confront them about the situation, about how they didn't come to her wedding. She's going to, of course, act like she's hurt by it, but the truth is she just did want to see Isabella make a fool of herself. She thought that would be a great present for her. But she's basically going to talk to William and be like, why didn't you come? And William's just going to tell her, Brangwine, like, there's no way you thought I would come. Like, why would I come? And so they have this conversation, and Brangwine, makes all sorts of snide comments, like, well, I see what choosing her got you, and blah, blah, blah. And William's like, I don't regret anything. William loves his wife, and he loves his family, and he's not giving them up for her. He's just not going to do it. So he doesn't even really care. I mean, I think that part of him is really hurt by the fact that he lost his title and he couldn't continue his family legacy. But at the same time, like, he has a family to protect as the father and the husband, and he also is going to focus on that. And he's not so heartbroken that he can't move on with his life. So anyway, he is going to now tell Brangwine the truth that they are leaving to America next year. They are going to leave and go to America and, spend time there and live there for the rest of their lives. So Brangwine is shocked, right? Like, she did not think that they would do something like that. She really thought that Isabella was going to go crawling back to her parents' house and that many years would be spent of them attempting to get back into society and failing, and Brangwine inviting them to places to get to humiliate them and all that stuff. So Brangwine's plans to kind of, continue on with this form of torture have not come to fruition because they are leaving the country. And so she's furious. She's like, you can't leave. How could you do this? Like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, look, I want to give my family the best chance that they have, and they deserve that chance. And honestly, like, it's not a hardship to get away from you. And so Brangwine is, we've talked about William and Isabella's reasons for leaving, not just the children, their own social standing, all of that stuff, but also, like, Brangwine is in society now. Everyone kind of thinks of her as the victim after the rumors that have been spread with her and Peter kind of going around acting like she is the victim and, playing the victim and all that. So that kind of stuff has been happening. And so she's just kind of sad that she's not going to get to see them suffering. Is basically it. But she at least can console herself with the fact that they will be suffering even more trying to live in, like, a wooden cabin out in the cold and, having to make everything from scratch and build everything and all that stuff. So she is comforting herself with the fact that she thinks that they will be miserable in this scenario. So basically, we're going to now change households, and we're going to be in our main household right now. And we are going to focus on our family. I do want to get Isabella pregnant before we leave. I think that we need to get her pregnant, because the good news is that if she gets pregnant, then next year no one dies on the boat. So that means that we can have it so that both her and her baby will definitely survive. So that's really exciting to have that. I'm very grateful that that'll happen, because then at least we'll have a third baby that we can count on to be included in the role situation, with the very scary coin flipping that is going to happen in the future. So next, Isabella still has to tell her family about the whole moving to America and stuff. So she is going to come here and she's going to talk to her mother and basically tell her, I really appreciate that you, said that we could come live with you and everything. And I really, it's really special, our relationship with each other. And I'm really glad that, you've looked out for me so well over the years, but I need to look out for myself and my own children now. Oh, look, she's definitely pregnant. She just had the baby diaper over her head. But yeah, so she's saying to her mom all these nice things, and she's basically coming out to say, look, we are going to go to America. We're probably never going to see each other again, but we'll write letters or something. I don't even know how that worked, you guys. Like, how did that work? Because from my understanding, they went to America and they used the ship to like build their houses and stuff. So like they have no way of getting back to England. So how did that work? Like were more people just always coming over, like continuously going back and forth, like for trade and stuff at the beginning? I don't know. Or were they just like isolated at the beginning? I'm not really sure. But if we can send letters, we would send letters to Sophronia, and, keep in touch and everything. But, Sophronia is obviously sad to see her daughter go, but she's also really proud of her for having her own family and like protecting her children and trying to pick the best option for her children. So she is looking, on the bright side about that. She feels like her daughter has kind of finally grown up in a way where she is much more mature now. She's been working on herself and like, yeah, she's still got her flaws, but she's trying her very best and she is thinking like a mother and, focused on her family and all of that. So she is very happy about that, even though she's obviously very sad to see them go because, she's never going to see them again. She's never going to see them again. So it just wouldn't happen. Sophronia is getting on the older side. I actually have no idea when Sophronia's birthday is, to be honest with you. So let's see. When is Sophronia's birthday? Her elder, like last D20 roll is in 2 years. So yeah, she's just... it's over for them, and then Ismay is having another child. It is a girl, and she does survive. So we have our next child there. Still all girls for them right now, though we're losing Elias II. So this is going to be Muriel Larkin, and she is going to be born to Ismay and Elias, who still have plenty of baby rolls left. So hopefully, if they can have people survive, we'll be good. Like even though, what is our order of operations here? I don't even really know. Like who is our heir after Sophronia and her, or after Isabella and her kids? Because I think it might be Elias, even though being illegitimate just kind of pushed him to the edge of the ranking there for me. So anyway, it doesn't really matter. So here we are spending time with our family, spending time with the kids, kind of trying to enjoy these last moments. Also, they'd be packing up the house, selling as much as they can because they're not going to take it with them, most of it with them. And then not only that, but they can't really afford to now that they've lost the estate and everything. It's not theirs anymore, so they've got to get out. So all of that is happening. And then we are actually going to go over here to this little bar area, and we are going to invite over all of the families that are going to America. So they're all kind of getting together ahead of time to kind of coordinate and plan and figure out what they're going to do. So the families that we have going with us are... okay, obviously, Ismay and Elias are coming with us because they are also lost their titles. And, I think that for right now, I think that Ismay is really not happy with the situation. I do not think that she is happy about moving, but, she thought she was marrying an earl. Her father even, like, broke off a better engagement now because he thought that she was going to get to be with an earl and it was going to be, like, a good, cushy life for her, but that is not the case anymore. And then we have obviously our family. And then some of the Waldricks are coming with us. So, like, a lot of it is, like, siblings because why am I taking their parents? I don't need them. But, yeah, so, like, a lot of Waldricks are coming with us. Their family was never super prominent or anything. So, I don't really know. It just kind of is fine. Like, they're not giving up anything by coming to America. And then the ones that I'm having kind of a hard time figuring out why they're coming with us are the Dubois children. So, oh, look, Isabella just found out she was pregnant. There we go. But yes, the Dubois children are all coming with us. And I want to say that it's hard to say because, like, they're literally inheriting. I think he's a marquis. I forget. I don't know. But, like, they're inheriting some good stuff, but they're all leaving. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense. But, I'm thinking that maybe something like, Humphrey, since his wife died, has kind of been having a hard time in society and kind of felt like he didn't really belong there anymore. He didn't really want to be a part of it. Like, you can remember his life a long time ago. He didn't spend his initial childhood here, unless he did. I don't think he did. Is he Yasmina's child? No, not Yasmina. The other lady. Anyway, one of the Dubois. um, but yeah, like he was in exile as a child and everything, and so I think that probably he had a hard time. And then after the loss of his wife and his kids, he's just like, there could be something better out there for you guys. Like, why don't you go check it out? Like, you can always come home if you don't like it. I don't know. That's what I need to figure out a way to make it so that his kids would just come to America for no reason. But they're coming because we need the Sims. We do. We need the Sims. So those are all of the Sims that are going to come to America with us. And all of that. Really, really looking forward to that. And yeah, next year we'll be moving. So the next video is going to be a recap video. And then after that, I don't know, we might have a video in between that's like kind of introducing us to the rules and stuff of the 1620s. Until 1700. That's the next early colonial phase. So that is what I'm thinking there. So we'll see where we go from there. We'll see. But anyway, yeah. So now we're starting to get into the birthday situation. So we are going to do the birthdays. Let me get my handy dandy notebook. We have Elias Larkin II passing away. We have Brangwine de Mohun, now Hobart, becoming a young adult. Juan Verduzco passing away. Gwendolyn Larkin passing away. Oh, Gwendolyn, I forgot to mention. So Gwendolyn, I was doing some setup for the 1620s. I was getting some new Sims in the game and stuff. And during that time, I got notified from Neighborhood Stories that Gwen had died. And so that is why she is on my death list for this year. She did pass away, unfortunately, but, what you gonna do? And then Muriel Larkin became an infant. So those are the birthdays. That is the situation. I will catch you next time for the recap video. And then we will head into the 1620s. So excited.